Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Genevieve Designs. We are currently making workstation number 2. This is the workstation that has the top tray and then it's going to have the 3 Crafty Mini Racks on top. This is from the Crafty Companion. This is available in my Etsy shop. So this is the one we're working on right now. These 3 things are removable. We've already made this one and I'll show you that really quick. I haven't started using it yet because I wanted to be able to show you the difference between the two. So here is the first Crafty workstation that we made. It's got the Crafty dividers on top and then it's got the full Crafty trays, right? So I'll have a playlist specifically for this project step by step up here as a clickable link and down in the description box below. This one is a little more detailed because I show you how to make everything in detail. So then this one, this is the second Crafty workstation, and this is where we've gotten to so far. And again, the little mini racks are going to be on top. But this one, I didn't go into as much detail because the Crafty trays are made the same way, or the Crafty cubbies are made the same way as in this other one. But there is a playlist specifically for this one, and it is right here. Click that, or it'll be in the description box below, either one. So this is where we are so far. These templates are printable. They will be available in my Etsy shop, a link down below. The guide is part of the template. It's a whole PDF that you print off and you make this workbook. And I did make a video on how to make this workbook. You can, I'll either have it linked up here or down below or both. But it's easy, but I do suggest that you make some form of workbook. I really, really do. There's a lot of bits and pieces. There's 6 different sections with lots of pieces, and you don't want to get them confused or lost. So I do suggest that you make some form of workbook, even if it's just a folder with all the paper in it. Even if it's just as simple as that, do make some form of workbook. And you'll have to excuse me today. I sound weird. I'm having an allergy attack. It's that time of year. My youngest son's having the same problem. So I waited as long as I could to record, but I can't wait any longer. So we're just gonna have to go with it. So I apologize. I'll try to cut out any sneezing or coughing as best I can. But anyway, so today we're gonna make the Crafty Mini Racks. I've already made 2 of them because they're all 3 made the same. There's 3 different sizes. So I've made 2. I've made the largest one and the smallest one. So I've made the 2, right? And I've completed them. They are matted on the inside and they are matted on the outside. And it was really funny because I wasn't even thinking. I was just working away. I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get 2 of them made. And then I'll make the 3rd one on video. And I really wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, I don't guess, because I made both of those totally different ways. Like, I mean, they go together the same way, but I finished them off, and it's hard to explain, but I was like, what are you doing? I did it 2 different ways. I don't know. Now I've got all these weird scraps left from where tape's been put on paper and stuff, and I don't know. So I'm going to try to do the 3rd one the right way, or the easiest way for you guys. First thing, we need to go to the Crafty Mini Rack section, which is, in mine, it's the last. I guess you can put them in any you can put them in any, what's the word? It's the last section, but you can put them in any order that you want. Good grief. So this is the Crafty Mini Rack section. And there is a large, a medium, and a small. We're going to make the medium, but in order to make the large and the small, that's on page 2. And this is the small mini rack, and then this is the large mini rack. All of the mini racks use this side panel on page 1. So page 1, it has the medium, the base, the back, and the front, and then the side panel. So we need all of these because we're going to trace all of this out onto some chipboard. And I'm going to show you, I took a picture when I traced out the other 2 onto chipboard. If I can get this off right here. I am going to show you a picture that I took real quick. Okay, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that, but all of the sides, the Crafty Mini Rack sides, are over here, And then all the other pieces are over here. So this is the large and the small on one 12 by 12 sheet chipboard. Okay, I just wanted to show you that. Okay, let me see if I got any big enough scraps. I think I've only got 2 big scraps left. I don't think this one will do anybody any good. I have a whole pile of little bits. Look at all this. Can you see? A whole bunch of this. So we need to think of something we can make with this. Maybe we can make a really cool abstract canvas or something. What do you guys think? We'll give that some thought. Maybe we'll do that with, don't throw all your bits away. We might do something with it. Okay, let me see. Will this fit on there? No, of course not. So this one, we need 1 of these. This is the, oh, we need 2 of these. Should we go with this one first? I might be able to find another piece. 1 more spot. Uh-oh, what's this? And why do I have this on there? This will work. This will work. I found another scrap. Okay, this is medium weight chipboard. It is approximately 30 point chipboard, and it is 1/16 of an inch thick approximately. Do not use the thick, do not use the super thin unless you double it or triple it up or whatever. You want to use the medium weight chipboard, as close as you can get to that anyway. I also have a special Amazon list, influencer page list, specifically for any of these crafty companion projects. So I'll have that link down below. You can check that out. I try to link everything I can, or the equivalent to what I'm using, so that you can at least see for yourself what it is. And if I can't find it in Amazon, I try to link it to other stores as best I can. Sorry, my train of thought. I've just lost my train of thought. It's just gone. I'm worried about my allergies. I can't help it. Okay. So I traced 2 of the side panels. And then we're going to need 1 of the backs and 1 of the fronts. Are we going to be able to get both of them on here? Let's do it like this. 1 less cut. Okay, there's the back, and then let's do the front. It's a little shorter. I didn't cut that template out very well. Hopefully it's okay. And then we need the base. So I'm going to trace this out. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to trim these out. I'm going to get my Score Pal craft mat out, my craft knife, my utility knife. This is a Scotch, and I've darn near went through all of those little pieces I can snap off. And this is a Tim Holtz ruler, so I'm just going to make some nice, gentle passes. That's the best way that I can find to trim out this chipboard. Okay, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to cut all these pieces apart, and then I'll be back. Ah, don't do that. I just completely went off the rails there. Okay, got all my pieces cut here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble them together. I'm going to use the Scotch tape, just the regular old office tape, and as my helping hand, and I'm just going to stick them together. This is another thing I did differently on each one of the other 2 that I've made already. One of them I did it this way, and the other one I didn't. I don't know where my brain was. I mean, I was working on them at the same time, and obviously my brain was not, you know, on the same wavelength that I was. Okay, so the shorter end here, or the pointier end, is where the little small front piece goes. And I'm going to put put a piece of tape here. I think I'm gonna put another one. And then the back here is where this back panel goes. Like that. Well, okay. And if you don't want to do this part, that's totally fine. And that's the thing about these, is you can construct them any way you want. If you have a specific way you like to construct your 3D type things, then you go ahead and construct it that way. When I was doing all my prototyping and stuff, this was just the fastest way I found to get through them quickly. Does that make sense? So just keep that in mind. So I think, which one did I do wrong? I think I did the, was it the small one that I messed up? I think it might have been the small one. I cannot remember now. I mean, you can't tell. They're not messed up. They are perfectly fine. They're both exactly the way they're supposed to be. But I made it harder on myself putting it together, and I forget what I did. I've already forgotten. I mean, it was a couple of days ago because it's a Monday now, so the weekend has come and gone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a, I'll find, I have a white 65-pound white cardstock from Recollections. It's 12 by 12. And I'm going to cover it with tape. This is just the fastest and easiest way. If you want to do it a different method, if you just want to use construction strips, that is totally fine. Actually, I think that's what I did on one of them the other day, is I just went and did construction strips on one and then realized what I did and did it the other way on the I don't know. Anyway, it was something. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, this is a 6-inch roll. This is scrapbook.com. I have it linked down below. And I'm just going to cover both sides with tape. Both sides. That's not what I meant. I mean, the whole thing. The whole 12 inches. Both sides meaning this side and this side. Alright, so I'm going to do that really quick here. I think it makes a really clean inside doing it this way. But if you don't have this big old tape, you could probably just use glue. You just have to be a little bit more patient and wait for it to dry completely. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. And this, the scrapbook.com tape, they usually have it on sale and it's a super good price. Even when you add the shipping cost, it's still a super good price. So keep that in mind. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to burnish it down. There is Sequin or Score Pal score tape. I have that linked in my Amazon, the 6-inch roll of that. It's a little bit more pricey, but it's good tape. It's really good tape. I don't know about the shipping on it, but okay. Now what do I want to do? I am going to, oh wait, did I do this backwards? Did I already mess myself up again? Oh, I don't need this yet. I don't need this yet. See, I'm missing a step. I don't need this particular thing just yet. Oh, let's do it the right way, shall we? Or my favorite way. What I meant to do is what we need to do. Okay, now we're going to take this 6-inch tape and I'm going to cover the part that has the tape on it, the inside of the box. I'm going to lay this down on the tape best I can here. I need to get another sheet, a backing sheet for the tape real quick. Okay. So So I am going to trim this tape away, but it's just going to go over here. It's not going far. I tell you guys what, this is going to take me a long time to record. My allergies won't quit. Alright, let's see, how much space do we have left here? Just 4.5. Let's just go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get another bit of this. I have that 4-inch roll, but I'll have to add then a 1/2 inch after that. So I'm just going to use this. Let's see if I can try to... I'm just trying to mark where the tape ends. So that maybe I can get it on there correct. Or I could, should I? No. No. It might overlap just a little bit, and that's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to flip it over. Oh, I didn't do too bad. And we're going to burnish that down. Alright, now I'm going to get a sheet of white cardstock, Recollection, 65 pound, 12 by 12. And I'm going to take the tape backing off. Let's do the second piece first. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it. I did the big one the right way and the little one the wrong way. Again, there is really no wrong way. I just did them 2 different ways. How about that? That's a better way to say it. Alright, so now I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to try to get this on here. I can always trim up if I don't get it on just straight. Right? Okay, so for this one, what we want to do is we're going to come and leave on the longest part here. Actually, let's just go ahead and trim it with my craft knife. We are going to go ahead and leave bits on either side. So I'm just cutting 1 inch away from this part here, just like that, and then I'm going to come through and I'm just going to go ahead, trim all the excess away. Alright, so before we do any more cutting, I'm going to go ahead and take this and give this a good crease, because those are the flaps that are going to be attaching this thing together. And it's easier to do it before you completely slice everything away. So we're going to go and we're going to slice just one part, just the shortest section there of each one of these tabs. And then, let's see, we're going to go ahead and replace some tape. these little tab parts. We are in just like desperate need of some rain. Not desperate, I mean, it's not like a desert or anything, but man, I think that's why my allergies, and I don't think I'm the only one that's having the same issue. So I'm having some allergy issues today. So last week was my oldest son, or I'm sorry, my youngest son's orientation day for senior year of high school, right? And I was like, it's his last first day. Well, it wasn't technically. Today's actually his first day. So today's his last first day of high school. And bless his little heart, his little allergies were just as messed up as mine are right now. So I hope he's doing okay. Oops, daggone it. It'll be good enough. Yeah, don't throw away your pieces, you guys. That would just be so wasteful. Wouldn't it be terrible? And you can use that. You can use those pieces for things. Okay, this is my garbage bow. If you have missed all of these videos, we've made this in video. I will link it up here at the top and down below if you want to see how we made the garbage bow and the ink station. It was one of the first videos I did. It's in every one of the playlists because you have to have one. So you just have to. And it's fun when you're creating to have pretty things to use, even for your garbage. Like somebody said, why do you call it a garbage bowl? Why don't you call it a garbage tray? It's because of Rachel Ray, when she had the cooking show, and it was just a cook. I don't know, she might still have it on the show. She might still be on TV. I don't know. But she has a garbage bowl. And it just stuck. I don't know. I know it's not a bowl. It's a tray. But that's what I call it, a garbage bowl. So there. And it's okay. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it your garbage. You can call it whatever. Okay. Alright, so let's burnish that in just really quick. I don't know if I already did it or not, but we're going to double do it just in case. Okay, now we're going to flip it this way and we'll burnish it one more time. And then I'm going to remove the backing. This is EK Tools Stylus. It comes in a set of 3. And this one's got the pointy end, and I like it to help lift up the edge of the tape because my nails are too thick. And this is a Teflon bone folder. Okay, so what you want to do once you get the tape backing off is you just want to lift them up, match up those 2 inside corners, just like that. And just like that. And then these 2 front inside corners. Ooh, look. Mine's not perfect. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Right there. See how it's not perfect? It is okay. It is not going to matter. In the end, it's not going to matter. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and burnish those down. There's no chance of those coming up now. Plus, we'll end up matting them too. So, okay. So that's what we got so far. So now what we need to do is I want to wrap. I've been wrapping all of mine. If you're not wrapping yours, you do not have to wrap all the edges. Like in my prototype here, I didn't wrap these edges. These are just raw chipboard edges. But I did wrap the corners where the connections are. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that well, since my camera is like, oh, there you go. So you can see where I wrapped the corner, but I didn't wrap that raw edge. So you don't have to wrap your edges. I just wanted to, for the look of it, you know, all. So what I'm going to do first, I think, is I'm going to wrap these 2 front rails here, these 2 front pieces first. This is a 1-inch strip that has tape on the complete back side of it. Yeah, that's perfect. So you just need 2 6-inch strips for this. And what I'm going to do is can't decide which way. I think I'm going to go. You basically want half of it on the outside and half of it that's going to wrap around. I'll show you. See that? So don't worry about this corner or this corner. Those we're going to wrap differently, but you see where I did, you know, it's not, see where I placed it? So now I'm going to take, I think, I'm trying to remember how I did this, you guys. Let's see. I'm just going to make one little snip, and it's right here. See that right there? Just going to make that one little snip. I'm going to fold over that top part there. Fold in that piece. Then I'm going to do the same on this long strip. Fold that over, burnish that down, and then fold that in. Now don't worry about what this part right here looks like. We are going to mat it, so it's not going to show all the different little angles and whatnots. So let's do it on the other side. Okay, so for these, well, no, wait, let's see, we need to do these two first. We need 2 strips for this, and I think for these two we're going to use, we're going to have a 1-inch strip that is scored down the middle. So this is just the same white cardstock we've been using, the 65 pound. We're going to score that down the middle. We're going to put some tape on it. I'm going to use 3/8 of an inch. This one is score tape. Put it on either side of that score mark. These are Tim Holtz tonic scissors. So you don't even have to cover that whole bottom, but you're going to need 2 pieces that cover that edge there. And I think I am going to go ahead and tab those little corners or notch them or whatever, miter them. Whew. It is warm up here in my studio. Okay. So, first thing we want to do, take the tape. You could take the tape off both sides if you're feeling confident. We're going to stick it down to one side, then flip it over, and stick it down to the other. So one bottom corner is wrapped, and then we're going to do the next one. I'm going to go ahead and be brave. Okay, so now we got these 2, and then we're going to cover this whole piece as one and this whole piece as one. Okay, let's go back to that 12 by 12 sheet that we made. I need to put my tools up. I keep losing them. I need to put all this little chipboard pieces up, and then everything will be fine. So this is the 12 by 12 sheet of white cardstock that we covered with the 6-inch roll of tape. So we're going to use this to finish this off, wrapping the edges. So whichever size you're making, I want you to measure it and add 2 inches. So for the medium size, for me, I'm going to write it down somewhere. I need a 5-inch strip, a 5-inch wide strip, yep. And then your top, or the height of it should be, you should probably go about, well, you could probably do 5 inches, but let's do 5.5. So you need a 5-inch by 5.5 inch for the medium. That's what I need for the medium. Now if you're making a small, you just take your ruler and you measure adding 1 inch on each side, 1 inch top bottom. That's the size that you need. And then for the front, we're going to need the 5 inches by, this one we're going to do, the fronts are all the same height. So you can use this one, maybe not an inch. Let's do 2.5. 2.5 inch by 5. For the medium. So again, if you were doing the large, you measure it this way and you add 1 inch on each side. Okay, but the height for the front should be the same, and the height for the back should be the same, because they're all the same height in the front and the back. So if you're doing the small, the same thing. You just measure it, you know, 1 inch on each side additional, depending on what yours is. All right, now I'm gonna get my paper trimmer out. Let's see. So they're both 5 inches. So let's cut a 5-inch strip. Oh, I didn't need to open it. This is a Fiskars Precision Heavy Duty Paper Trimmer. I'm going to cut a 5-inch strip like this. Put that aside. Probably need that. And I'm going to be making 2 more projects. I don't know if I'm going to be making the second workstation with the crafty dividers with you guys. I might make it and show it to you and demonstrate it in a video. I don't know. I haven't decided, because it's kind of the same thing as we've just made. But then I'm also going to be making the storage unit too. So, all right. So then 5.5, and then 2.5. I hope I did my measurements right. So I don't need this piece. I need this piece. Take the backing off of here. So let's say you don't have this full-size tape, you know, the 6-inch tape. You can just use a bunch of 1/4 inch, or you can just use wet glue, or you could use, you know, 3/8 of an inch, or whatever you have. Use what you have. You do not have to use that big old Mamba Jumbo roll of tape. It just saves me a whole lot of time. So basically what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to center this front piece on here as best I can. This is not pattern paper, so I'm not super concerned. Right? So then I'm going to fold it around the side like so. Okay. And I'm going to actually, it'd probably be easier if I put it on the table and folded it around the side like that. Now you could have, if you wanted to, you could have done separate strips. You could have done a strip here, and you could have done a strip going over the top. I just like it to be a solid piece. I don't know. I guess with all the ones that I've made so far, this has just been my favorite. Okay, my favorite way of doing it, even though I did one of them differently when I was making the other 2. Okay, we'll just notch that little corner there, and we're going to fold those in like that. And then I'm going to pull my corners. I'm going to show you guys where I've been sticking those corners. Pull my corners off and stick them right there. And then I'm going to fold this down. We're going to come back and burnish it in a second after I get this part down. And the same here. We're going to notch that corner. And we're going to fold those 2 sides first. And fold those in. And I'm going to pull those corners in towards that joint. Alright, and then I'm going to fold this in. Burnish that down. Right, so the front is all nicely wrapped. Okay, and let's do the back. So the same thing with the back. We're just gonna center it on here like this and do the exact same thing. So now we've got all of our edges nice and neat and wrapped, right? So we're going to be matting the bottom, the sides. We're going to be matting the inside here. So I think what we'll do before we get that all out, let me move this. Let's just go ahead and get the inside crevices covered, so that can be drying while we're cutting everything else out. So this is just the distressed ink and vintage photos what I'm using, and this is a Ranger number, is it 6? Number 6 brush. It comes in a set of 5, I think. Maybe more. I don't know. I can't remember. But I have it linked in my Amazon if you want to check it out. So we're just using this to get the little crevices that our ink tool will not be able to reach. And it really, really helps. It really, really does. And it looks really nice, I think. Right? So quick, easy, all done. We're going to set this up here so we don't get our paper in it. Okay, next, I still have the templates out that we used to trace the chipboard. And we might use those. We won't need this back one or this. Well, yeah, we will. We'll need those two too. Maybe. But I did want to tell you that in the Crafty Mini Racks section, page 3M is the mats for the inside of the Crafty Mini Racks. So I've already printed that off. This is my Staples 110-pound white cardstock, and this is the coffee stained. So I've got those. They're all the same. So all 3 of the cubbies, or all the 3 of the mini racks, use that same one. And then for the one I'm making now, the mats for the medium size is on page 5M, which I printed one off in coffee stain because I'm going to mat the inside with this, okay? But I wanted to check really quick if I need to use, what am I thinking here? If I need to use the inside mat or the outside mat for the bottom. Oh, it could be either one. It could be either one. Let's see what the outside mat looks like. Because it's the bottom, it really doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna use that one. And then what about this? Yeah, I'm just gonna trace for the outside mats. I'm just gonna trace using those. But the inside, I'm gonna use the ones I printed off. So I'm gonna cut these 2 out and I'm gonna ink them up. Oh, you know what I could do while we're just, before we go anywhere, let me go ahead. I'm going to trace these on here because I need them. I need 2 of these. Oops. I want to mat the sides because we're going to do some stamping just like we have with the other stuff. So I need 2 of these. And then I also need one for the bottom. So I need one of these. Oh, I'll use this piece right here. And then I'll do the decorative mats out of some pattern paper. Let's see. I'm only going to put a decorative mat on this front piece and this back piece. So what did I do? What did I use on the... Okay, so I used that purple on this one. Let me find that purple. Oh, that's not going to be big enough, is it? Nope. Let's look at all my scraps here. Here's a piece. We'll use that. We shall use that. Oh, that one's too long. So for the front and back piece, I'm going to use this scrap that I have. And I think I'm going to... So I'm going to trace these two out. Remember, these are just the templates that I used to do the chipboard. Because when you construct something out of chipboard, it is inevitably going to get bigger. I'm trying to find a pretty part. Okay. So I'm going to cut all these pieces out, and I'm going to ink them up, and then I will be back. I have all of my pieces cut. So these are the white cardstocks. We're going to mat this side, and this side with. These are the inside mats. We're going to mat the entire inside, and then this is the front and back mat. So let's go ahead and start with the white plain ones. I'm going to start at the bottom here. I'm just going to use art glitter glue, and I'm just going to go around the edge. I'm going to try to get... Oh shoot! You know what? We're not gonna do this first. I'm gonna put this one down, and then we're not gonna do the rest until I ink. Okay. Since this is the bottom, it's not that crucial. Okay, hold please. I'm trying to avoid seepage, because if you get glue on all of the other areas that you want to add ink, then it won't stick, right? So I'm going to take a minute, and I'm going to go around, and I'm going to ink all of my edges. Moving forward, look, I did a really sloppy job on the bottom, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and finish matting. I'm pretty sure this is this size. Yeah, and be sure to check and make sure that they fit. You don't want them hanging over. And you could, if you want to, you could put pattern paper here. You don't have to do the stamping or anything. You can do whatever you want. But since I'm stamping, I'm just putting white cardstock on here. I was looking at my candles up here. And you know, something I noticed, my salt candle one, it takes about 8 hours for that little tea light to burn down. But these two, since they're a little bit more open, like this one dips way down on this side, and this one's almost, you know, not flat, but the candle's almost completely exposed. This one goes pretty fast, and I wonder, I guess it's because it gets more oxygen. But I noticed that the other day, and I was like, that's all I could say was, interesting. Okay, now I'm going to put the front piece on here. Ooh, that one's almost too big. And then the back piece. I did ink the edges of the two pattern paper, or the digital paper. This is the Floral Whimsy. I don't know if I said that. It's the paper collection. It's my digital paper collection. It's available on my Etsy shop. It's linked down below. Whoop. That's what we're using for all of our crafty companion projects, or that's what I'm using anyway. But again, you use what floats your boat, tickles your fancy. Okay, so then the last thing we want to mat is the inside. So I'm going to start by matting the bottom. Alright, so that is all matted, and then I am going to take a minute and just go around these two side panels, and then we're going to we're going to stamp on them. And I am being very sloppy with my inking, you guys. You can be much neater than me, but it's hard while you're filming to not be sloppy. I don't know. Right? So before and after, or here, before and after, doesn't it look so much different? It just looks so cool. So you choose your favorite stamp, whatever stamp you want to use. I'm not going to ink or stamp the bottoms, but yeah, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And where's my stamp? Oh, I just had that sucker out. Aha! I haven't cleaned it not one time, you guys, so no judging. Do not judge. Alright, here's the stamp. It's from Heidi Swap, and it's called Script. It's a really old stamp. I'm not even sure it's available anymore. I'm pretty sure I had linked it in my Amazon, but it sold out. So I don't know. Maybe they'll do some restocking. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this whole thing. It's just kind of like a background stamp. Well, it is a background stamp. And I think it's like 5.5 by 6 or 6.5 by 5 or something. I don't know. It's big. So I'm just going to lay that on there, and I'm just going to press gently, lift it up, right? And if you see any spots you're like, oh, it's too white, you just go through and just add a little bit here and there. Like I want something right here, I think. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to flip it around this way. I'm going to ink it up again. And let's go right here. Oops, I didn't center it very well, did I? That's okay. We'll just come back over here with this, and we'll come over here with that. Maybe, oh look, there's Genevieve right there. A little bit of that, right? Just that easy. That is just as simple as that, and we've just jazzed up that white cardstock. Let me move this. Okay. So there's the other two. So there's the 3 sizes. We have the large, we have the medium, and we have the small. They will all 3 fit inside the Crafty top tray, just like that, perfectly inside, and they're removable, or you can put them in whatever sequence that you want. Or you could have, let's say you wanted 2 of this size. I'm gonna grab my little prototype one. 2 of this size, right? And then maybe you wanted 2 of the small ones. That will work as well. Or I bet you could do, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the small ones, or 6 of the small ones. If you really wanted it to be that, you know, sectioned out, you could totally do that. Or you could just have 1, which at the moment, the one that I have on my right, I just have 1 in there, and it's holding my tapes. Let me show you. So it's holding all of my tapes like this, right? And I've got my little tape block right there, and I've also got a piece of, you know, that foam that I use to pierce, to do my paper piercing. I stuck that in there, and then keep my ruler behind there. So that's kind of the situation I got going on my right side there, right? So this one is going to be used for my project, so it's sort of be sitting on my left side. So it all depends on how your setup is. Like, you might have yours directly in front of you, and that is totally, that's fine. That's really good if you can do that. That's great. I can't, because I have a tripod and other stuff sitting here. But anyway, so this one's going to be used as a, you know, workstation, a project workstation. So I might have a bunch of paper clips, or I might have a bunch of rusted things, because I almost always use those in my projects, rusted stuff. So I might have a drawer full of those. This might have flowers, or it might have handmade embellishments, or it might have little trimmings or little bits and pieces might be in this tray. So it's like every tray has a purpose for my project. And then again, if I decide I don't need these 3 small trays for my project, I can swap it out for one of the full trays. So, okay, I figured out, oh, I don't want all those trays. I just need one big one. I need another big one. So it might be a good idea for you guys to make extra trays, like make a couple extra of the full trays, make a couple extra of the small trays or the large trays in the different sizes, just so you can swap things around as you need it. So I might not need this small one, or I might not need neither one of these. I might just need these fuller trays. It just depends on the project. So make sure you make yourself some extras that you can swap around. So that's why I'm making all of my projects out of the same paper collection, because I want to be able to switch it around and it still look cohesive. Oops. It could still look cohesive. Another idea is for this little mini rack, put feet on it and have it sitting in front of you, and all your tapes could be there. So it could be like your ink station, and it could be like your garbage bow. You could have like a place for your tapes. Another idea I wanted to tell you guys, I'm gonna move those out of the way. So let's say you've made the Crafty workstation and you've got an empty slot on the bottom. You can leave this empty, and I wanted to show you that it's gonna be hard to show you with the camera the way it is, but I wanted to show you that you could totally like store your ink station in here. And then somebody else on Facebook was talking about they didn't put feet on their garbage bag because they wanted to be able to store it in their workstation. So keep that in mind too. But on my workstation to the right, I've got an empty cubby. So the bottom cubby is empty, so that I could, if I needed to, I could move these out of the way, or have one for brown, one for black, whatever, and I can have those stored away where I can grab them easily for whatever project I'm working on. Am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense. All right. Well, you guys, that is all I have for you today. That is the end of this project. So this is Crafty Companion workstation number 2 with the Crafty Mini Racks on top. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I hope you guys are enjoying this, and I can't decide if I'm going to make the other workstation with you or make it on my own and just show you, because it's basically this same thing. Except they're full drawers. Well, the one I have currently is full drawers, and then there's an empty bottom. So I don't know, I can't decide if I'm going to show you that one or not, because it's got the top tray on it, and I do have one of the mini racks. So maybe I'll just make it and show it to you, because it's the same thing. We are going to be making the storage unit, and that looks like this. This is the Crafty storage unit. So, you know, I might not do that exact configuration, but we're going to be making that next probably. So I'll probably make another workstation off camera and just show it to you, and then we'll make the storage unit. I think that's what I'll do. Okay, you guys. Do let me know what you think in the comment section below. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. I'd love to see your creations on my Facebook group. That'll be linked down below. Just request to join and answer the questions, and one of the admins will check you out. Be sure to subscribe to my channel before you leave and hit that bell notification and turn that on. And there should be some other videos here on the screen that you might enjoy watching. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.